My mortgage payment is due in a few days, but I still need $296. So this weekend I'm trying to make that money just in 2 days. So let's see if I can do it. So today I'm out here driving deliveries, trying to make money for my mortgage. And while I'm driving around all day, I usually end up thinking a lot about the job search too, because I'm still trying to break into cybersecurity. I check job postings on LinkedIn usually daily, just to see if anything new shows up. And this week, I came across something that honestly surprised me. I saw a junior security analyst position, which is exactly the kind of role I'm trying to get into. But when I looked at the pay for that position, I had to read it twice because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The job was paying $15 an hour. Yes, 15. And at first I honestly thought maybe I was reading it wrong, or there was some kind of mistake in the posting. Because when you hear cybersecurity analyst, you just don't expect that kind of pay. That's basically the same level as retail or fast food, not a security role. But what really confused me was when I actually started filling out the application. It was one single job posting, but when you get to the application form, you have to select your years of SOC experience. And the options were something like 1 to 3 years and 3 to 6 years of SOC experience. So not general IT experience. They were specifically asking for SOC experience. And that made me stop for a second, because I was thinking, who is this job actually for? Because if someone has 3 to 6 years of SOC experience, I don't really understand why they would be applying for a junior position that pays $15 an hour. Even after seeing that, I still ended up applying for the job. And I think the main reason is because breaking into cybersecurity right now feels really difficult. Everyone wants experience. But getting that first SOC role is honestly the hardest part. I already have almost 3 years of IT support experience. But somehow it doesn't seem to translate directly into SOC roles when I apply. So at some point, you start thinking maybe you just take whatever you can get just to get your foot in the door, even if it's not ideal. And while I was thinking about that, I also kept coming back to my current situation. Right now, I'm literally out here shopping for other people's groceries, trying to make $296 for my mortgage this weekend. And on top of that, all the normal expenses just keep stacking up. Food, insurance, property, taxes, everything just keeps going higher. So I'm kind of just moving through the store, doing this mental math while I work. Like, if a cybersecurity job pays 15 an hour, what does it even look like in real life right now? I'm just thinking, could that kind of pay realistically cover basic monthly expenses anymore? So I started thinking about what that actually looks like in numbers. If someone is making $15 an hour, working a full-time schedule, like 40 hours a week, that's about $600 a week before taxes. So in a month it's about $2,400 before taxes. But of course, that's not what you actually take home. After taxes, you're probably looking at something closer to $1,800 to $2,000 a month. So when I compare that to my situation, my bare minimum just to survive is already around $1,600 a month after taxes. And that number is actually based on last year's calculations. I even made a separate video where I sat down and calculated what it cost me just to live. Not comfortably, just the absolute minimum to pay the bills and not fall behind. And even in that number, there is basically nothing extra. No savings, no clothes, no emergency. Just bills, food, and the house. But the problem is that prices keep going up. My home insurance went from 800 to 1200 in 1 year, which is about 50% increase. And I still haven't even received this year's property tax bill yet. So I honestly don't know what that number is going to look like. Last year it was around 1800, and I'm already expecting it to go over 200. Then there is gas. Right now gas is around $4.50 a gallon, and groceries just keep getting more expensive every time I go to the store. So that 1600 minimum I calculated before, that was already survival number, bare minimum. And with prices going up like this, I honestly don't even know if that number is still realistic anymore. So even after seeing that pay, I still applied, because at this point I feel like getting that first sock roll is the hardest step. And sometimes it feels like you almost have to take wherever opportunity shows up just to get that experience on your resume, even if the pay doesn't really make sense. Honestly, I don't really expect to hear back from them. Part of me feels like posting like this might just be companies testing the market, trying to see how low they can set the salary and still get applicants. Because last year, the lowest junior cybersecurity pay I remember seeing was around $21 an hour. And suddenly seeing something drop to $15 an hour feels like a pretty big shift. But I'm actually really curious what other people think about this. If you saw a junior cybersecurity job paying $15 an hour, would you apply for it just to get that first SOC experience? Or do you think that kind of pay just doesn't make sense anymore with today's cost of living? Let me know what you think. I'm done for today. I was driving for 8 hours and made only $120. It's not enough, but it is what it is. I'm so tired, but finally this day is over. Let's see, maybe tomorrow will be better.